The story begins with a boy named Shiki, our main protagonist, who is looking at shooting stars in the night sky. Sitting next to him is a robot named Demon King, who explains the importance of friendship and tells him about a godlike entity named Mother, who grants wishes to anyone who finds her. Shiki decides that one day he will make many friends. Years later, a girl named Rebecca arrives at Grand Bell Kingdom with her pet, Happy. She's there to film a video for her channel to get lots of views. The robots of the kingdom give her a grand welcome as she is their first guest in 100 years. Shiki is very surprised to see her, as this is the first time he has seen another human besides himself. He asks Rebecca to be his friend, but she feels awkward because he gets too close. She punches him hard. Shiki then takes them to a nearby restaurant for a meal, where he introduces Rebecca to his robot friends from Grand Bell. He explains that recently the robots haven't been working properly, but because he is a good robot, he can fix everyone. On the other side of town, a hunter robot goes to his king and reports Rebecca's arrival. Meanwhile, Shiki falls asleep. Rebecca asks his friends if she can cut his hair while he's sleeping. The robots agree. When Shiki wakes up, he sees that his hair is short. To get revenge, he goes looking for Rebecca, but finds her tied up in the middle of town. Shiki asks the king to untie her, but the king refuses, saying they will use Rebecca's spaceship to leave. He explains that since humans abandoned them, no one has come to see how they are doing. Shiki replies, "Don't worry, I will fix you whenever you break down." The king reveals that Shiki has never actually fixed a robot. In fact, all the robots of Grand Bell have an auto repair function that fixes them automatically, but this function isn't working properly anymore. After this, all the robots start calling humans enemies and attack Shiki. Frightened and confused, Shiki unleashes a hidden power he received from Demon King to protect himself. At the same time, Happy wakes up and unties Rebecca. Happy explains that Shiki is using an Aether Gear, which is an ether ability. Happy says that different Aether Gears have different powers, and Shiki's power is gravity. They escape to Rebecca's spaceship. Shiki doesn't want to leave his home, but Rebecca pulls him along. Shiki is amazed to see that there are many planets like Grand Bell in the universe. We cut back to Grand Bell, where we learn that all the robots made a plan together because they knew their system was about to fail completely. This is why Demon King had asked the king to make a plan to send Shiki away. We then see the robots start falling, one by one. Shiki gets emotional, remembering the robots, but he promises to make more friends and go on new adventures. Shiki learns that Rebecca and Happy are social media celebrities who earn money by making online videos. Rebecca asks Shiki to be her bodyguard for now. They land on a planet called Blue Garden so Shiki can register with the Adventure Guild. Shiki is shocked to see the big buildings and the prejudice between people in the city. They go to the Adventure Guild headquarters where a huge projection of a cosmic goddess named Mother is visible. Shiki says he has already met Mother, which makes everyone laugh, as no one has ever met her. Suddenly, Shiki asks everyone to be his friend. Rebecca pulls him out of there, as asking a stranger to be friends is awkward. As they are leaving, a thief kidnaps Happy. Shiki activates his Aether Gear and chases after him, pulling the thief to the ground. This doesn't hurt the thief, who fires a few shots into the sky to create a commotion among the people. The thief shows Happy to his gang leader, who says that Happy is a special cat from planet Happy, which will fetch a good price. Rebecca and Shiki arrive and ask them to let Happy go. The gang leader starts firing at them. Taking advantage of the distraction, Happy escapes and transforms into a blaster that fires ether energy beams. Rebecca and Shiki team up and defeat the whole gang. A flashback shows a sad Rebecca meeting Happy. Since they were both lonely, they decided to stay together. But one day, Happy has a dangerous accident. To survive, he has to become a machine. We then see a space pilot named Elsie. who somehow gets the news that Shiki has fled Granbell. Back at the Adventure Guild, Shiki tries to register as an adventurer, but people laugh at him, saying joining the Adventure Guild is not child's play. At that moment, Rebecca's friend from the Adventure Guild, Sister, arrives. Rebecca asks her to help Shiki register. Then a venture star named Livia arrives, who makes fun of Rebecca's videos, calling them boring. Rebecca gets sad and starts crying. Shiki gets angry and activates his gravity power, lifting Livia into the air. Rebecca and the receptionist take Shiki out to prevent any more trouble. At a restaurant, Rebecca gives Shiki his adventurer card, which says Shiki Granbell. He is an E-rank adventurer. Rebecca is excited about the idea and says they have to go to the doctor who fixed Happy because he has the spaceship and equipment they need. Meanwhile, Elsie arrives at the Adventure Guild looking for Shiki. An adventurer tells her that they went to planet Norma. Hearing this, Elsie remembers that planet Norma was destroyed a long time ago. On the way to Norma, Rebecca lets Shiki drive her spaceship so she can record it. But since Shiki has never flown a spaceship, he crashes it on Norma. Rebecca explains the planet's special feature. Instead of rain, long stone pillars fall from the sky. They quickly go underground where the people of the planet live. They go to the doctor's lab, where Shiki finds a pair of glasses that allow him to see through people's clothes. A young boy who says he's a doctor arrives, but he doesn't recognize Rebecca or Happy. He points a gun at them. The scene changes to 200 years later, where two astronauts are investigating the place. They find a necklace with Eden Zero written on it. The narrator says that Eden Zero will be an important part of the story. The scene returns to the doctor's lab. The doctor thinks Rebecca, Shiki, and Happy are spies for the crime boss, Cyber, but Rebecca has no idea who Cyber is. While they are talking, Shiki uses his glasses to spot an assassin on the second floor. He easily defeats him with his ability. The doctor takes the opportunity and escapes on his bike. Rebecca and Shiki go to a restaurant. Rebecca notices there's no internet service. Her attention turns to a news report on TV about the inauguration of a new adventure guild called Shooting Star Light. Rebecca gets confused, but then realizes they have traveled 50 years into the past. As they are leaving the restaurant, Cyber appears with his robot and threatens to kill them. Shiki uses his Aether gear to make Happy and Rebecca fly away while also damaging Cyber's robot. They arrive at a bar. Rebecca says the doctor told her he used this place as a hideout in his youth. A short while later, the doctor arrives, shocked to see Rebecca. Rebecca explains that they are from 50 years in the future. The doctor doesn't believe her, but tells her that, like her, he also found a futuristic briefcase. Shiki picks up the briefcase, from which a small robot named Pino comes out. Pino has EMP properties. Suddenly, the bar's lights go out and everyone gets worried. Pino says not to worry and the lights will come back soon, which they do. Shiki is impressed and asks Pino to be his friend. Pino agrees. They ask the doctor about his past, which causes a short circuit in his brain, and he suddenly runs away. Rebecca and Shiki also leave the bar. As they examine the briefcase on the way, they find out that Pino has been forced to erase her memories. We then see Pino returning to Cyber because she has nowhere else to go. As punishment, Cyber breaks her leg. The doctor, who has been watching, comes out and says that Pino is his robot and he has come to take her back. At that moment, Shiki and Rebecca break through a window. Shiki uses his Aether gear to take on Cyber's thugs. The doctor takes Pino and Happy and runs away. Cyber attacks Shiki with a large compactor and orders his right-hand man, the Foot Brothers, to deal with Rebecca while he goes to get Pino back. Shiki wakes up in a pile of garbage. He sees a robot that looks like Michael. The robot says his name is John, and he is one of the mass-produced robots here. Shiki tries to repair him, but remembers the King Robot's words that he is not a mechanic. John reveals that he and the other robots used to work for Cyber, But when their purpose was fulfilled, Cyber threw them in the trash. John thanks Shiki for trying to help him before his battery dies. Meanwhile, the Foot brothers are attacking Rebecca, but they are mesmerized by her beautiful feet. Just then, Shiki breaks through the floor and defeats the Foot brothers with a single attack. Cyber has cornered Pino and Happy. Pino refuses to use her powers because it's against her principles. As Cyber is about to attack them, Shiki arrives, kicks a hole in Cyber's robot, pulls him out, and punches him. Shiki says that robots also have feelings like humans, and they deserve respect. Pino gets emotional. Taking advantage of the moment, Cyber's pet bird activates his robot, but this time, Pino, filled with courage, destroys the robot with her powers to save her friends. The doctor gives Cyber a good taste of his own medicine. Rebecca finally meets up with Happy, and Pino thanks Shiki because she was touched by his words. The police arrive, hearing the commotion. Everyone gets on Rebecca's ship and flees. Rebecca explains that Pino is Dr. Weiss's creation from the future. They still haven't had a chance to relax because the police and Cyber's gang members are now chasing them. As they try to leave the planet, a device on their ship stops them. It says if they give it the ship, it will help them escape. Rebecca doesn't want to give up her ship, but Shiki, wanting to escape the situation, agrees on her behalf. Dr. Weiss then uses his Aether Gear power, which is creation, to modify the entire ship. With the modified ship, they finally escape the planet. As they reach space, Rebecca gets a message from Dr. Weiss from the present time. He tells them that planet Norma is occupied by a time-eating beast, which is why the timeline there is messed up. Dr. Weiss also says that he and his younger version can exist in the same timeline because his younger self didn't time travel but was brought to the future by a living creature. He also tells them that Pino was actually made for Demon King, who was Shiki's grandfather. Suddenly, Elsie's ship captures Rebecca's ship. Rebecca is terrified because she knows that Elsie is a famous space pirate who has destroyed planets and is also the pilot of the ship. Elsie video calls them and says she's here to enslave them and sell them in the market. Dr. Weiss tries to bargain with Elsie to spare their lives, but Shiki says he will defeat her and take her ship. Impressed by Shiki's bravery, Elsie invites him to fight on her ship. They all go to her ship, where they are attacked by octopus-human hybrids. Rebecca transforms Happy into a gun and attacks them. When Shiki reaches the main room, he's surprised to see Elsie wearing a skull mask. At first, Elsie overpowers Shiki, but then he starts attacking her with his gravity power punches. Elsie says her powers are even stronger than the king's and tells him that his mission to reach Mother is impossible. The reason for this is that everything Shiki learned was taught by Demon King, but he died before the training could be completed. The Interstellar Union Army, with 3 main officers named Justice, Creed, and Victory, arrives, looking for Elsie. They arrived because they sensed the Aether Gear energy coming from Shiki during the fight. On the other side of the ship, Shiki attacks Elsie with his grandfather's most powerful move. The attack is so powerful that it damages the ship, but he is able to defeat Elsie. The ship repairs itself. A video call from the real Elsie comes in. She tells him that the Elsie he thought was just a mimicry parasite. As a promise, she gives him the ship and tells him that the ship was originally used by his grandfather, Demon King, when he was also looking for Mother. She said he had asked her to give the ship to Shiki when the time was right. Later, the real Elsie and her pet arrive. Shiki and his friends are shocked to see her, as they have never seen such a large spaceship. Elsie notices the cosmic police are chasing Shiki. To give him time to escape, Elsie attacks them. As they escape, Officer Creed notices them. Shiki and his friends are now out of the danger zone. Rebecca and Happy start cleaning the ship. After they are done, they take a bath and notice a huge blast of aether power coming from inside the ship. It was Shiki's doing, and it created a hole in the ship. But because the ship is so advanced, it repairs itself. Everyone puts on new clothes and goes to Demon King's throne room. When Shiki sits on the throne, a command is activated and a helpful support system appears. She says she's one of the 4 shining stars of the ship and welcomes Shiki as the new Demon King. Since the true owner of the ship has returned, the ship returns to its true form, and she says its real name is Eden Zero. Shiki is overjoyed. The robot says that the ship can be even more powerful, but for that, all 4 shining stars of the ship have to come together. She says that after Demon King's death, they all went their separate ways. The scene changes. Rebecca is getting a massage from the robot and asks if she can also use ether gear. The robot says that if she bathes in the ship's water regularly, she can also get ether powers. On the other side, Shiki and Dr. Weiss are standing in front of a big locker written 3173. Since the robot is connected to everything, she warns Shiki that he can only open the locker when all 4 shining stars are together. Dr. Weiss tells her to stop spying on them. The robot says she's just a part of the ship and is no more than a table or a chair. Shiki disagrees and says that like everyone else, she also has a heart, which surprises her as no one has ever said that to her before. When the ship lands on planet Blue Garden, Dr. Weiss goes on his own adventure. Rebecca and Shiki return to the Shooting Star Light Guild. The receptionist is happy to see them. Livia also arrives and makes fun of Rebecca's videos for not getting any views. She even asks Shiki to be in her video, but he refuses. The guild's master calls Rebecca for an important talk. Outside, a stranger attacks Rebecca and her guards and tries to kidnap Livia. Shiki arrives and grabs the man's hand. His arm detaches and reattaches itself. Pino recognizes him as a cyborg named Jin. An epic fight breaks out between Shiki and Jin. Jin, who has the wind aether gear, cuts a road into 4 pieces, causing a lot of damage. Shiki stops fighting and starts helping the people. Jin gets a message from his headquarters to return. He tells Shiki that if he ever wants to fight again, he can find him on planet Gilst. When Shiki returns to his guild, he's worried to see Happy injured. Happy tells him that they were attacked while meeting with the master, and someone kidnapped Rebecca. Shiki's attention turns to the news on TV, which reports that kidnappers have appeared in the city and are abducting social media celebrities. The thugs say that if they want to save Rebecca, they have to go to planet Eden Zero, where there are no rules or laws. Without wasting any time, Shiki and Happy set out to save Rebecca.